Hello. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So today, I figured since yesterday was Easter, and we probably all did a lot of eating and hanging out with family, hopefully, and all that good stuff, I really wanted to focus on core activation today. So it's not gonna be like the sweatiest workout, but I want you to really focus on keeping your core engaged the entire time. If it sounds really loud and windy in here, it's because there's a huge storm happening outside, so I can't really control it. But hopefully you guys can still hear me. Yes, let me just pull up the workout and we will get started. Okay. So we're gonna start like we usually do with just some stretching. So go ahead and give me a couple arm circles backwards. Just 3 or 4. And a couple forward. Really focus on getting that breath all the way down to the bottom of your stomach. Like I said, we're gonna really focus on core activation today. So after you give me a couple to the front, a couple to the back, go ahead and step to the back of whatever space you're working in. Drop down to your toes and walk it out to a high plank. Take a nice breath here. Make sure you're engaging that core. Ribs are coming to your hips. And walk it back up. We're just gonna do like 3 or 4 of those. Make sure you're breathing. Just give me one more full one. Come all the way to the top, all the way down. Walk those hands out and back up. We're gonna stretch out our legs a little bit. Go ahead and sit on the floor. Legs come in front of you and try to bring that chest down to your legs. Grab your feet, your shins, your knees, whatever's comfortable for you. Breathe into it here. Try to not let your shoulders come up to your ears. Nice and tall. That chest is coming forward and down. And then bring those feet in for a butterfly stretch. Get those hip flexors opened up. Push those knees down towards the ground. Sit up nice and tall. You can lean forward here if you want to. Try to pick a spot like 2 feet in front of you to focus on so you're not dropping your neck or dropping it the opposite way. And then when you're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and bring it onto all fours. So in a tabletop position, like I said, this workout is all about core activation. So we're gonna start with bird dogs. We're gonna do 20 of them. So you come into a high tabletop position. Today's workout is 2 circuits of 9 exercises. So coming into a high tabletop, engaging that core, bring your pelvis down a little bit so your hips are coming towards your rib. And you're gonna extend your opposite leg and your opposite arm like this, keeping your core engaged, using your core to lift that leg and those hip flexors. You're gonna do 20. Nice and slow. You can add a pulse if you want. If you're having a hard time balancing, go ahead and just lift your leg. And try not to drop that neck. Make sure you're breathing. I like to think like I'm being pulled in 2 different directions. So my leg is being pulled towards the back wall, my arm is being pulled towards the front. And more. It's 5 on each side. Try to be moving your legs and your arms at the same time. Last one. And then we're gonna bring it up into a high plank, keeping that core engaged, and we're gonna do shoulder taps. You have 20, so your hands come up and tap your shoulders. You You don't want to be rocking side to side. Try to stay nice and stable. More. And then we're going to take it onto our back for sit-ups. We're going to take these nice and slow. I really want you to focus on working every muscle in your abdomen when you're doing these. So plant your feet down. I like to kind of dig my heels into the ground like this because I feel like it gives me more support. But if you have a wall or a couch in front of you that can like support you and it's not going to move, go ahead and put your feet up against that. I'm just going to dig my heels in, lay onto your back. Your arms can come here or here. Just make sure that those elbows are coming up to your knees every single time, and you're not leading with your head and your neck, you're leading with your chest. So nice and slow, you just have 10. 3 more. And then we have in and outs. So you're gonna stay on your butt like this, and you can do this one of 2 ways. If you haven't done these before, you have a hard time balancing, or you're feeling not super strong in your core, you can do them like this. Push your feet out and lean back, like that. Or, if you want, you can take your hands off the ground and lean back like that. You just have 10. Make sure that core is engaged. Going back as far as you can without falling over. 4 more. You should really be able to feel that one kind of like right above your hips. Now we're going to do roll down sit-ups. I love these. I got these from a Pilates class, and I do them every time I do an ab workout. So you're going to flex your feet in front of you like you're doing a forward fold stretch like this. You're going to sit up nice and tall. Your arms come out in front of you like this. And then you're going to pretend like someone has a string from your belly button to right behind you, and they're pulling it back. And you're going to roll down nice and slow through each vertebrae of your spine. Come all the way down, arms come over your head, and then to come back up, it's the opposite motion. Once your arms get to here, your chest comes off the ground. Don't lead with your chin, lead with your chest. All the way up, take a breath, and then you're going to do that again. So you have 10 of those. These are nice and slow. You really want to feel every single muscle in your abdomen. Rolling down, each vertebrae hitting the ground. Take a nice breath at the bottom and a nice breath at the top. I like this one because it really works every single muscle in your abdomen and in your back too. I have to scoot forward a little because I hit the lip behind me. Make sure you sit up nice and tall when you get to the top. You have 5 more. If you feel like this is a little bit too tricky, you can leave your hands on the side next to you for support, like this. And then same thing coming up, you can use your elbows to help you. But I'm gonna keep my hands in front of me. You have 3 more. These are really slow. And your last one. Arms come right in front of you, sit up nice and tall at the top. Next, we're going to do tricep dips. So from here, you're going to come into a reverse tabletop. We've done these before. If you have like a couch or a table or something near you and you want to do tricep dips on that, great. I'm just going to show you on the floor. Feet come in front of you, hands come behind you, try to not lock those elbows. Lift your butt up off the ground to a point where you're not like sinking down into it. You want to stay nice and tall through your arms. That's how you're getting the work. And you're just gonna do 10. Keep your chin nice and lifted while you do these and drop down. Your elbows go towards the wall behind you. Again, nice and slow. Really focusing on making that mind-muscle connection between whatever muscles are working and your breath. So then we're gonna go ahead and stand up for some sumo squats. So sumo squats are basically the same as regular squats, except instead of taking a stance that's like maybe a little bit wider than hip width, you're gonna give me like an inch or two on either side of that, point those toes out diagonally, and instead of dropping back into a squat like this, you're just gonna drop pretty much straight down. If you've ever taken a dance class, it's similar to like a plie, so you're just gonna go straight down. You have 10 of those. Five more. You still want to keep your chest nice and lifted. You want to keep that core nice and tight. Your butt is dropping straight down, so that's how you're engaging your core here. Try to keep your back nice and flat. You should have one more here. And then we're going to take it into side-to-side lunges. So coming back to the center of your workspace, you're just going to take one leg out to the side, lunge over it. Make sure you can still see those toes. You don't want to be too far over, that's really bad for your ankles. Keep that core engaged. You get a little hinge in your hips, and if you want, you can just transfer the weight like this, or you can step through the middle, you know, like this. I'm just going to transfer my weight side to side. So you just have 10 on each side, so 20 total. Stay nice and low. And then once you've done 20 of those, go ahead and get into a plank position. My workout is in front of me and I'm not wearing my contacts, so if I keep like getting really close, that's why I can't see. So you're gonna come into a plank position. You can do a high plank or a low plank. I'm gonna go into a low plank because I feel like I get a little bit more out of it. If you have a hard time doing a low plank, you can spread your feet apart a little bit, and that'll make it a little bit more stable for you. So yeah, we're just gonna do 20 counts here. So just counting to 20, or setting a timer. I'm just gonna count so you can stop when I stop. Really bringing those hips to your ribs. Ten more seconds. And drop it down. I had a trainer tell me once that if you can do a plank for more than 30 seconds, you're doing it wrong. And she corrected my plank form, and I seriously think that that's true. If you're doing a plank in the right form, you shouldn't be able to hold it for like a crazy amount of time, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like I feel like I hear people saying that all the time, and if you're doing it right, it should be really, really tricky to hold on to. So we're gonna go ahead and take this from the top. So we started with those bird dogs, getting back onto all fours. If you didn't add a pulse last time and you want to challenge yourself a little bit more this round, go ahead and just give everything a good squeeze at the top for each rep. So we're going to do 20. Really feeling like you're stretching through that core. Your arm and your leg are being pulled in different directions. Keep that foot flexed. 5 more. Last one. And we're going to take it into the shoulder taps. So again, coming into a high plank. You have 20. Try not to drop that neck. Engage that core. Don't sway side to side. I find this is easier if I spread my fingers apart a lot. It gives me like a wider base to work off of. Nice and slow. 10 more. And then we're going to take it down to some sit-ups. I'm going to put my feet against my couch this time because I was scooting back last time. But again, just digging your heels into whatever floor space you have is totally fine. You just have 10. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure that your lower back is staying on the ground. Halfway through. One more. And then we're going to take it into those in and outs. So again, you can plant your hands on the ground, or if you did that last time and you want to challenge yourself, those hands can stay out in front of you. You're just going to tuck in and tuck out for 10. Keep that chest nice and tall. You should be feeling this in your lower abdomen. Last one. And then we're going to go into those roll down sit-ups. So again, your feet come in front of you, hands out in front of you, sit up nice and tall. There's a string pulling you from behind. You have 10. These are nice and slow. Arms come over your head. Back up. Chest is nice and tall. I like to pretend like I'm holding a beach ball in front of me, so that way my arms and shoulders stay nice and stable. Four more. If you're ahead of me, slow it down. You should be on your last one here, one more. Nice and tall at the end. And then we're going to take it into those tricep dips, tuck those feet in, elbows facing the back wall. You just have 10. And then we're gonna hop up into those sumo squats. You guys are almost done. So get into your normal squat position. Give yourself an inch or two on either side. Point those feet towards the corners of the room that you're in and drop it straight down. You have 10. Squeeze that butt at the top. Make sure you're nice and straight up and down in that core. Five more. Last one. And then we're going to take it into side-to-side lunges. So again, you can choose to step to either side, or you can just transfer your weight. I don't have a whole lot of space in this space, so I'm just going to transfer my weight. So step out to one side, you have 20. Chest is nice and tall. Nice and slow. Ten more. And we're just going to finish it off with a 30-second plank this time instead of 20. So get into your plank position. I'm going to count. Whenever you have to tap out is totally fine. I'm going to do 30 counts. So make sure that those ribs are coming towards those hips. You have 30 seconds here. Make sure you're breathing. Ten more seconds. And you're done. So we're going to stretch it out now. Those feet come in front of you. Arms up over your head. Reach down in front of you, chest comes to your legs. Make sure you're breathing. Anytime you do a workout, you want to slow that heart rate back down before you go on to doing whatever you're going to do next. Bring those feet in for a butterfly stretch. We're going to do these stretches in the reverse order than we started them. Taking 2 to 3 breaths with every stretch. And then from there, take it up. I'm just going to add a forward fold here. So go ahead and drop it down. Make sure you're not locking those knees. Your head hangs, your arms hang. You can sway side to side. And then just finishing off with an arm stretch. Your arm comes in front of you. The closer you are to your hand, the more stretch you're going to get. If you're closer to your shoulder, it's less of a stretch. So however your mobility allows you to do it. Take a couple breaths here. Go ahead and switch. And then just one more time, take a nice full body stretch all the way down. Take a couple breaths here. Roll up nice and slow. And that's it. Thank you guys for coming again. All of our workouts are uploaded to our YouTube channel after we finish them, so this one is gonna be up in like the next 5 minutes if you decide you want to do it again, or if you decide you want to do them later in the week. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will be back on Thursday.